All right, welcome back. And it's time for us to get into a personality profile conversation this morning. And we've been joined in the studio by a power woman. All right, and you'll discover very soon why she's a power woman. Shirley Tony Coombe. She is a corporate communications manager with Vivo Energy Ghana. Shirley, good morning.
Hi, good morning, David. I'm well.
All right, so I want to ask like 100 questions at once, but let me start from the beginning. You're a PR person through and through, right? Communications person through and through. Now, before all that happened, where did life begin?
Thank you for having me on the show. And regards from Prof. Buhenson.
Oh, okay, okay, yeah.
Yes, and so Shirley is actually a Tardy girl. I was born and raised there. I say that with so much pride because the people there, they have great sense of humor. And on this note, I want to say shout out to Pisco, Kofi Bentum, in Takoradi. So I started in Lagos town. I attended Chapel Hill Preparatory School, then to Infantiman Girls. Of course, having the passion to go into journalism, I found myself in the Ghana. Yeah, that's Infantiman Girls. That's Engman House Girl.
Okay.
So innocent then. I can't believe I'm the one there. So from there, I went to Infantiman Girls and having the passion to go into journalism. I wanted to be a newscaster. I've always said this. I found myself in the Ghana Institute of Journalism and some way, somehow, through GBC, I went through the PR, through Ministry of Parliamentary Affairs. Then I went to through Stratcom, then found my way in the mines. Did about 8 years there, and came back to Vivo Energy, Shirley in Citi. And that's where I've been.
That's where you've been.
Yes, I mean, growing up, I wanted to be a doctor, but that's not where.
Yeah, the road didn't lead you there.
Exactly.
I'm curious about something though, and this is a question that I've been asking the last, couple of years. Why has it been the case that in Ghana, a lot of journalists end up in communications and PR, right? Whereas, let's say, if you go to the Western world, where there are huge broadcast networks, many of the people will actually stay in the journalistic field and stay right through till they stop working. Yes, the end of their working lives. But in Ghana, it's almost like we retire people early and they move on to PR or corporate communications or and so on and so forth.
I think that it has to do with where your passion is. Like I said, I'm a trained journalist. I've covered lots of assignments, metropolitan assignment, presidential assignment when I was in GBC then with one of the senior editors. But some way, somehow, I realized that no, I can do better in other fields. And PR and communication, they're all part of this whole, it's a component I can say of journalism. So I'm not surprised in recent times we've seen most of the journalists moving into the corporate field. Comparing it to the Western world, I think that, but Ghana, we've done so well. We've come that far, looking at the likes of Cities, the Joy FMs, and other top brands. I think that Western world has the resources, they have the facilities to push, to facilitate the work of a journalist. And here in Ghana, I must say that at times it becomes a bit of a challenge. Because I have some colleagues who are journalists, and I think that if they had the necessary resource and push, they would have been, let me say, very top up there. But you tell them they are like, Shirley, you guys are the one, in quotes, making the money. Making the money and all that. Of course, corporate-wise, it depends on where you find yourself. You could move to PR and communication in some corporate organization, but maybe it may not fetch. It's about how you do, the passion you bring on board. I'm sure that's what has kept you on in CTFM.
Okay, so I think, I hear what you're saying. I mean, if maybe it's all about the finances really, because at the end of the day, if you look at our space, we are relatively young in terms of the global.
Exactly. And outside, I think that they pay more than we do here. So you have fulfillment, you get that self-satisfaction being in the role. But here, we have that perception that if you want to make money as a comms person, you have to branch into corporate. Exactly. And I think that some way, somehow, it's true. I'll be honest.
Now, I saw something interesting. I saw a tweet that said that you made a 4.0 in a Master of Arts in Marketing Strategies, University of Ghana Business School. How does somebody get a 4.0 in a master's program?
So when I got the mail to be on the show, I was like, oh God, I thought this whole valedictorian thing was over.
It's not over. No, it's not over. If we haven't heard it, and our viewers haven't heard it.
So going into, that was my second master's, and I got that that edge during the time of COVID. I realized that no.
So this was the celebration.
Yeah, this was celebration with Prof. Henson and Trudy, yes, and with some of my colleagues, my mom in there, my aunties, and all that. Beku Santana in there. He was my colleague.
Okay.
Yeah, so moving into, I decided that no, being a comms person and looking at the industry that I am in, that is oil marketing, having the marketing background will really be a good advantage. So I assessed my situation. I felt that no, I need that. There's this gap. Can I fill in? And lo and behold, I went in there. I must say, I went with the mindset that, hey, University of Ghana, anything can happen. I don't know, their marking scheme. I went to GIJ from the University of Leicester. So, hey, anything, let me go in with all the film and all that. But I think that I had a solid team. I had a solid class. They were very intelligent. Talked about Abeku bringing the industry perspective. Other people also bringing on board the ideas. So it enriches the conversations in class. And I think that helped us to all be where I am. 4.0, I must say there was a God factor in there, aside the hard work. But we give God the glory.
Hey, maybe I'm shocked, but when I said 4.0, I say, hey, how you get 4.0?
It's doable, you can do it.
Really?
Yes.
Okay. From are you hearing 4.0? It's possible. All right, so talk to us about what is it that inspires you? I mean, when on a normal day, okay, what inspires you? What drives you? What keeps you going?
So when you go on social media, you see on my post with this hashtag action and quoting, I'm somebody who believes in more action and less talk. If I have to do it, has to be done well. It's either I do or I don't do it. And people say that, Shirley, the difference you make is the passion you bring on board.
Okay.
I'm inspired by what I do. First of all, before you can give of your best in any situation, you need to love what you do. And that is what I've come to realize. So once I've decided to be in this institution, to be in this field, I need to make sure that I give of my best in the role that I am. So I'm inspired by achieving the goals, setting goals, achieving the results, seeing the impact that it is making, contributing to the bottom line at the end of the day, and feeling valued also in the organization where I work, which is Vivo Energy. And that really inspires me and gets me going on the work.
All right. Now, let's talk about family. What does family mean to you?
Family is everything, especially if you're a woman. I bet you need that support. I'll be honest. You need that support. If you really want to go far, you need a support. You can't do it alone. And your family is your immediate people you work with. After the 5 to 8 or 5 to 6.
Those are your kids?
Yeah, these are my kids. Osaje for Basim or Sabarima. And that's my husband. He's not around. He's not in Ghana. Yeah, so they are the people you go back to. And luckily for me, I've had the support of my family who have been there for me. Anytime I have to travel outside Ghana or even domestic travels, they always did. This morning, I had to wake up around 4:30, bath them, get them ready by 5, because I know when I leave them, they'll give them tough time. So I made sure they wore their uniform, then I left them 6:10, I was here. And my sister would definitely take them to school. So the family is everything, and if you want to really go far, please, that doesn't make that you need to ignore them. Please be with them as well.
Yeah, interesting. So apart from work, I mean, are there any driving passions, things like wanting to give back to society?
Yes. So I started this thing with my husband called Santa Corby Charity Foundation. And I also went further to set up the Shirley and Friends. I'm somebody, that's why you see, when you go to my social media post, I'm not that type of, even though I'm the head of the unit, you see me roll up my sleeve. I joined the team to do the work. I like community work. Probably it's inspired by my days in the mines, where we were always going to the communities. Community development is a key and huge thing in the mines. And so I was inspired by that. And looking at my upbringing, I feel that every child needs that support. So when I get the opportunity to give back, I do that, and I do that through the Shirley and friends. And I've had amazing friends who've been on me, joined me on some of these projects in Kolebu. We did a number of them, even in the Western region, where Christmas we go into the villages to also give back to them. And
okay,
it's been good.
Wow, right. Now, I know there's something that you've also been involved in, an initiative called Stop, Think and Drive. Tell us about Stop, Think and Drive.
So Stop, Think and Drive is one of the key flagship programs of Vivo Energy Ghana. Maybe people don't know Vivo Energy. Vivo Energy is a company that markets and distributes the Shell brand.
Okay.
Yes, and road safety is one of our key components that are CSR. We've had this program for about 3 years with the National Road Safety Authority.
Okay.
We look at where the focus is, then we tie in. So every year, we mobilize the drivers, the commercial drivers, give them the skill and the training, and this is done by National Road Safety Commission with input from our safety department and also our hauliers, that is the JK Hoglies, and all of them coming to support. It's just to inculcate the habit of safe driving. So we give them comprehensive defensive driving training, because you may be on the job, but once in a while you go in for refresher training. It's also the same thing. Having the driver's license, that's not the end of it. You have to go in for refresher, and looking at our accident rate, there is a need that we come into supporting that intervention. So every year we do this, and we go into the various regions to educate the drivers in there. Last year we complemented it with an eye screening, and it's been so year on year we try and do that.
I don't know what your thoughts are regarding the most recent accident that took place on the Gomwa Ochireko stretch there. Of course, that stretch is notorious for a lot of accidents. In terms of what you're doing with Vivo, the campaigns, Stop, Think and Drive and all that, what do you think about what we need to do in that space, you know, that stretch of road, to bring the numbers down in terms of the accidents? I'm asking this knowing that we also don't have a regime like other countries where people say if you don't go for like a refresher driving test, you can actually lose your driver's license.
Exactly.
In some countries. You know, we take it for granted that once you have a driving license, all you have to do is the renewal, the 2-year renewals, and you're okay, right? And that's how our system is. But in other countries, there's actually, you have to go back and go and drive at the driving school, driving test again, you know, that you're still doing the right things, you still understand the right things. What do you think about all of this?
Exactly. First of all, I would want to say express my deepest condolence to the family that lost their loved ones on the street. Anytime I see an accident, I'm like, hey, I'm sure it's the Cape Coast, Accra Cape Coast Road, because it's very notorious, noted for that. And I've not been to the spot, but the name clicked, because there are several accidents that has happened on that stretch. Yes, and I was like, wow. So what could be happening? I asked myself, was it that the driver didn't have enough rest? What happened? Was it a sharp curve? Is that has it got to do with the road design? I mean, so if something of this has been recurring, we need to go back again. Maybe it's a structural engineering thing. We need to go back, check again. But like you said, we saw that. And it was a program that we're coming up with together with we said we're going to partner with DVLA and see how best. But realize that when they get a driving license, like you're saying, they don't go for any refresher. So like this training is rather supporting them to have that refresher training. But after getting the license, who cares? They don't care. They feel that, oh, I've been driving, and they'll be saying, I've been driving for 10 years. I've not had an accident before. Who knows when an accident will happen? So I think that if there's a law or something we can do legislatively, can we make it mandatory for people to either go for, before you can even renew your license, you should go for a mandatory training from a certified training center before your license is renewed. So I think if we do that,
that's very important.
That would really help to reduce the numbers.
You have received a lot of awards, locally, internationally, all of that. Let me ask, because I know, you know, just you get awarded here, you get awarded there, and all that. Is there any particular one that really meant a lot to you to be recognized?
First of all, I think that all the awards that have come, I always tell people, I've had a number of people knocking on my door, Shirley, we want to give you this award. But at times I ask them, what have I done for you to give me this award? They said, oh, we've been seeing what you are doing. And I go again, who is the professional, which professional body or who sat on the awarding panel for you to nominate, because whatever I take, I want to merit it. I don't want to just go in for award, and that I've shunned several awards in that regard.
Because in Ghana we like selling awards.
Exactly, we like selling, and it's a whole lot. I wish that we could really get.
Stop it.
I wish that we could really get some agency to check this. Is becoming too one. The one that really hit me were two. Was when I was awarded the PR Discovery of the Year. That was the early part of my career in PR, and I was so shocked. I got the award. Not shocked, but I felt like, hey, I just came from the mines, came to take over this business, start up their communication unit, and within 2 years, I was awarded this. Then the last one, or the recent one, was being the valedictorian. I mean, not only the MA class, but we had other faculties, like people who did the IBM, LLM, and all of them. And I'm like, hey, what did I do to merit this recognition? But I think that those who did knew why they gave me, and I must say that it was a humbling experience for me, and I thank everyone who has contributed to this journey for me. I'm most grateful. Yeah,
fantastic. Well, thank you for spending a little time with us.
So soon.
Yeah, thank you for spending a little time with us and for sharing, you know, there's a young lady out there watching who is excited and inspired by the conversation that we are having here. What would you say to them in terms of you're 15 years old, you're 18 years old, the future that lies ahead? What should they do to realize their dreams? Final words.
Exactly. So what I want to tell them is that as a young person, you need to work hard. Don't feel shy to knock on people's door. What I've realized of late is that people, especially the young people, they want the success, but they are not ready to go through the long haul. There's something that they say that difficult routes may delay the destination, but it will help you appreciate the journey. I think that they are being too moved by AIs and technology. Yes, it's taking over. Technology is supposed to complement our work, but the way things are going and the way our youth are using it, they don't take care. Technology will not take over their job. They have the potential. I've been there before, and I'm still even rising. I'm still going through the mill. I think that they should set their goals right, set their priorities right, because whoever is sponsoring you now cannot sponsor you for the entire life. Not even your parents. At a point in time, they'll leave you. So ask yourself, what do I want to do, and where do I want to be in the next 2 or 5 years? I think that's they can be on the journey.
All right, fantastic. Thank you very much, Shirley. We'll be speaking with Shirley Tony Kum, who is a communications manager with Vivo Energy. And let's take a look at that valedictorian speech that she gave.
The Chancellor, Chairperson and members of Council, Vice Chancellor, Pro-Vice Chancellors, Guest Speaker, Registrar, members of the Board of the School of Graduate Studies, Provost, Deans and Directors, members of Convocation, staff and students, parents and guardians, invited guests, members of the press corps, fellow graduates, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, and humbled to be selected as the valedictorians for the March 2023 congregation ceremony. On behalf of my graduating class, I would like to take this rare opportunity to thank the University Council and faculty members for this great privilege. In April 2021, a group of students coming out of a pandemic situation, resilient, highly expectant, and hungry for growth, were welcomed into the University of Ghana graduate program. It was a journey like no other. We were pursuing a higher education in a VUCA world. There were too many volatilities, uncertainties, complexities, and ambiguities. As we sit here today, how we made it remains a mystery. Remains a mystery to us, juggling between full-time work, school, and leveraging a new technology, Zoom. What we do know is that we are a class of a kind, determined committed, ingenious, resourceful with fire in our bellies. We can think of situations where, in order to meet our strict assignment deadlines, we had to resort to ungodly hours for interviews with top corporate executives. Not to mention occasions when assignments had piled up and we kept asking ourselves, now who sent us? There were times when we were eager to chorus our popular sign-off notes, good night, prof, good night, doc, just to end the lecture. But as the saying goes, if it doesn't challenge you, it doesn't change you. And the greater the obstacle, the more glory in overcoming it. We are happy to have pursued our dream, inspired by the goal and purpose for which we enrolled on this course. To our great, passionate and committed lecturers and supervisors, your back-to-back assignments, project works, group works, critiques and guidance have molded us into a beautiful piece of art, unique, enlightened and ready for the business world. The pivotal role you played on this journey cannot be overemphasized. Ladies and gentlemen,